My name is Marcus. When you watch this video, you may come across some of the most shocking moments ever to hit Wisteria Lane. Okay, enough about that. Hi. It's been 15 years this month since Desperate Housewives hit our screens. In honor of one of the greatest shows of our time, let's look back at some of our favourite moments that shook us to the core. As usual, spoilers are ahead. Number 10. Angie Gets Her Own Back. Season 6, Episode 23. Angie Boleyn and her family moved to Wisteria Lane in Season 6. As the season moved on, we discover more about Angie and learn that she's hiding a dark past. Her domineering ex, Patrick Logan, finally catches up with her, and we find out that Angie and Patrick were part of a group of eco-terrorists, and she was tasked with creating a bomb which sadly killed an innocent civilian. Angie is held hostage by Patrick and forced to build another bomb for him, which, when completed, he hides somewhere in her home. In the final moments of their face-off, Angie heads to the house to save her son Danny, who's trapped inside. Patrick, sitting in his car, presses the detonator, at which point Angie turns back to him, smirks, and says that the bomb is in the detonator.
It's in the detonator. You bitch.
Number 9. Rex's Death, Season 1, Episode 23.
Hello?
Bree, it's Dr. Craig. I'm at the hospital, and I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Right in the opening episode, Rex tells his wife, Bree Vanderkamp, that he wants a divorce. In his own words, he can't cope with having to live life in a detergent commercial.
His mother and I are going through severe marital problems.
As their relationship crumbles, the pair separate, and Rex begins to see a prostitute who he feels he can be more sexually free with, unlike his wife. During one of the meetings, Rex passes out after suffering a heart attack. Meanwhile, Bree has been dating her pharmacist George, mainly to get back at Rex. Eventually, Rex and Bree do get back together and decide to give their marriage another chance. Sadly though, Rex suffers another heart attack before passing away. He leaves a note saying that he knew that Bree had been poisoning him, and he doesn't blame her. What neither of them realised though is that George had become obsessed with Bree and had tampered with Rex's medication so that he could have her all to himself. This death also brought us one of the most heartbreaking moments of the show. Number 8. Beth's Sacrifice, Season 7, Episode 16.
Son of a bitch!
After a long, complex relationship with seasoned villain Paul Young, Beth walks into a hospital and claims that she's there to donate a kidney to her friend Susan Meyer. She hands over the forms and insists they have to get to the right place. Eventually, the frustrated receptionist takes the forms and says she'll help. Beth tells her that she's very kind and this is the most important thing that she's ever done.
I don't want to mess this up.
She then pulls out a gun and shoots herself in the head, right in the middle of the busy reception. This moment is so shocking because it came from nowhere. It was also the haunting nature of just how calm Beth was, despite knowing what she was going to do. It's one moment that still gives us chills every time. Number 7. Edie Britt's Death, Season 5, Episode 23. Edie Britt had been a rival and frenemy to the women of Wisteria Lane since Season 1, so when she was killed off in Season 5, it came as a shock to see a favourite leave in such an electrifying way. Upon discovering that her new husband was a dangerous man, she confronted him and he attacked. She managed to flee the house and drive away, but as she pulled out her phone to call for help, she took her eyes off the road for 1 second. And when she looked back, there was a figure in the road. It was Bree's new husband, Orson. Edie swerved to avoid him and hit a telephone pole. The crash itself didn't kill Edie. It was the exposed wire hanging from the telegraph pole that she opened her door onto that finished the job. Edie went out with a bang and looked fabulous, even in her death. Number 6. The Tornado. Season 4, Episode 9. Death, destruction and drama rocked Wisteria Lane when a tornado hit in the 4th season. Fans feared for their favourites and nobody was safe from the path of the storm. There was some emotional character development, particularly from Ida, who sacrificed herself to save Lynette's kids. Lynette, recovering from her cancer treatment, managed to find common ground with Karen McCluskey, which brought them closer as friends. Gabby's latest husband, Victor, who was running for mayor at the time, was killed when he was impaled by a picket fence while chasing down her ex-husband, Carlos, who was hit in the head by a rock, which left him blind. Thanks to these events, the tornado will always be remembered for changing Wisteria Lane forever.
Okay.
Number 5.
Here we go.
The Time Jump. Season 5, Episode 1. Nothing shakes up a season like a good time jump. Fast forward 5 years, kids have grown up, new babies have been born, relationships have evolved, some ended, and people have changed. Once again, Wisteria Lane has evolved and left fans gagging for answers. It came as a real shock and stirred things up ready for a fresh start on the 5th season.
What happened? Are you okay?
I lost an earring.
You're wearing both your earrings.
Oh, I found it.
Number 4. The Plane Crash. Season 6, Episode 10. When we say there's never a dull moment on Wisteria Lane, we mean it. No street could ever be this unlucky. During a Christmas street party in the show's 6th season, a plane crashes right into the heart of the event where families and children have gathered, turning the joyous occasion into a nightmare. The plane was set to fly over the lane, trailing Carl Meyer's marriage proposal to Bree. But following an argument with his wife on board, the pilot suffers a heart attack and the plane dives heading straight to the street. The catastrophe resulted in the death of Carl and the paralysis of Orson as they fought for Bree's affection in Santa's grotto. Number 3. Mike's Death. Season 8, Episode 16. For most of the show's run, audiences have been rooting for Mike and Susan. Their relationship had been on and off, and Mike had always been honest about his murky past. Susan accepted it all. In the show's 8th and final season, Mike had been digging around some dodgy activity and tries to warn Renee, which gets him in trouble. Just as he finally tells Susan how much he loves her, and she tells him that she knows, they're heading back into the house to live out their happy ending. Except it's not that simple. This is Wisteria Lane after all. Just as he reaches the door, a car pulls up, someone shouts his name, and as he turns, bang! His life flashes before his eyes, and Mike dies. Number 2. Supermarket Shooting, Season 3, Episode 7. The episode Bang was emotional, painful, and disturbing. What started as a normal day quickly descends into hell when an armed Carolyn Bigsby marches into her cheating husband's supermarket. He and Edie get locked in his office, leaving Carolyn to take innocent shoppers hostage, and things get very scary, very quickly. During the terrifying situation, Nora is killed when Carolyn finds out that she tried to seduce Lynette's husband Tom. And Lynette is about to be fatally shot until Carolyn is hit with a can, causing her to jolt, shooting Lynette in the arm instead. A scuffle ensues, and one of the hostages manages to get hold of the gun and shoots Carolyn dead, ending the standoff. Number 1. Mary Alice's Death, Season 1, Episode 1. This death came as a surprise to first-time viewers who tuned in to watch the first episode as it aired. Nobody knew what to really expect from the show, but they soon found out. In the opening scenes, we're let into Mary Alice's picture-perfect life as she narrates what seems to be an ordinary day. All seems calm and normal until she takes out a gun and kills herself for seemingly no reason at all. At this point, nobody knew what was coming next. This calm, collected approach to suicide was mirrored by Beth in Season 8, but nothing beats the original that got us hooked from the start and gripped us for 8 seasons. Did we miss any of your favourite shocking moments? If so, let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and give us a like on Facebook and a follow on Twitter.